as we intend it, so it shall be. Aho. Sealing with a nice deep inhale together. Exhale. Opening our eyes and returning to the space. Thank you, family. Thank you for being here today. One of the things that I do whenever I'm leading anything like this, whether it's in my own community, Create, or whether it is in anyone else's community or platform, is invite people to set an intention. Invite people to set an intention. Understand that intention combined with action is ceremony. And the moment that you start to bring intention to most of your actions, you have just turned your life into ceremony. The moment you turn your life into ceremony, you've opened up the space for God to sprinkle in more magic. And I use the word God, but as someone who was raised Catholic and hated it, I will say that you can use the word spirit or universe or source or the divine, Allah, whatever. And so I want to say thank you for being here, truly, for being in this ceremony with me, the ceremony of life, the ceremony of this particular Zoom call. And what I want to talk about today, we titled this Unlock Your Inner Artist. There's a subtitle to this. I believe it's creativity, how to use creativity and self-expression to amplify every area of your life, I think. Yeah. I always make these up and then I show up without having any idea exactly what I'm going to say. And the thing that I want to share around this is that I believe that, and the reason why I show up without a clear plan is because when I don't have a clear plan, I am in the highest level of creativity. I'm in the highest level of creativity, okay? If I come to this experience with a script of, okay, I want to hit this, and then this, and then this, and then this, the best I can do is execute on a preconceived plan that was my creative expression at the time I made the plan. And so when I enter into this with way more free space, I enter into this with an opportunity for far more creativity, because creativity births from the free space. Few people understand how much space creativity actually requires. And so let's break down creativity for a moment. And this is something, I like these to be interactive. So if there's anything that you need a further explanation on as I'm going through this, especially those of you brave enough to be on screen or on camera, you get a chance to like raise your hand. And I'll take questions in the chat. If you need anything further, use the chat space. Everyone but Andy, because he let me down. And so I'm just kidding. Love you, Andy. Keep driving. So creativity itself is a, hold on. If you're going to be in the audience in here, shh, I got people in the audience right here. The creativity itself is on a practical level. So there's an understanding on the practical level. We have this space where our brains, okay, are putting together patterns all the time. We are pattern recognizing machines. Okay? And what happens with creativity is when your brain puts together a new pattern that it's never put together before. Okay. And so what's happening all the time when you're thinking like, I'm known for poetry a lot, right? And so when I'm writing a new poem, I'm thinking about how to put together a pattern of words through the sound of the words specifically and the meaning of the words into a pattern that is pleasing phonetically. And so as I sit in the creativity, it's like when you see those movies where someone's hacking into a bank and they're running a program on the computer, and it's like testing all these passwords, and it's always like this for some reason when you hack in, it's got like a progress bar, like it knows how long it's going to take to find the password for some reason, and then there's always like a bomb that's also tied to that, and like the police are here, and then Tom Cruise is like hanging there on a string while someone else is on the thing going, "We're almost there, Tom." And so this thing is what's happening in the process of your creativity. Because as I'm sitting with my journal about to write a poem, my brain is doing that. And then it goes, oh, we figured it out. Here's the next line. Oh, here's the next line. And it's putting together patterns that it hasn't put together before. And sometimes that algorithm takes longer than others, especially if we're in the space of doing like your creativity around a business. Like you have a business issue that you've come across and you're going, how do I solve this? And you step into the space of creativity. And the reason why this is important to understand through this lens is because creativity requires space. And what happens is so many people have a problem to solve in their business, or they have a project that they want to work on creatively, but they have a million programs running in their mind. And so the speed that we can run that algorithm is incredibly, incredibly slow because all these other tabs are open. Your processing power is being used for, you know, what's going on in your life in this area and what you need to do for your errands and what you got to do, execute on this. And so the processing power that you've actually allotted to run that algorithm hacking program is very small. And therefore the amount of time it will take to crack that code is a long one. And so that's when I say few people understand how much space creativity requires. It's because they're missing this kind of understanding of what's happening in the creative process. How many of you, this is a new way of viewing creativity already? Great. Yes, and I see you in the chat blowing it up. Ooh, yeah, I feel like we're engaged. Awesome.
And what I find, I was just going to say, what I find is I'm looking for the space to be creative, but because I'm busy with other things, I never get that space. So it delays me getting into that creative energy.
Yeah.
And it just gets being put off and put off.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. And yeah, the only reframe around that is I never give myself the space, not I never get the space. So the next part to this, okay, around creativity specifically is creativity. When we talk about art, most people associate creativity with art and self-expression. When we're talking about art, the definition of art is, for me, is art is the expression of creative energy into tangible form. The expression of creative energy into tangible form. Creative energy, definitionally, creative energy is the purest expression of your soul. And the reason for this is because if I were to have this exercise done for this group right now, where I said, all right, everybody, we're going to write a poem, and I want everyone to write 4 lines about love, a 4-line poem about love. Literally we have 61 people in here, all 61 would be different. And then I said, okay, like, let's make this a drawing. Everyone do a drawing about a dog that is meeting an elephant while eating ice cream. Like, get like as specific as we can. And yet all 61 of you would have a different photo. And, you know, the thing is, that's because your creative energy is the uniqueness of you. That's why when we talk, every word is different, is because my creative energy, literally, if I'm not reading a script that someone else wrote, in the moment right now, I am creating. This is my creative energy being expressed through the words I choose to speak. Every single one of you that's typing in the chat right now, that is your creative energy in expression, which means, by the way, that what you're typing in the chat is art. And the key reason why this is important is because we talk about sound healings, right? And we start to understand the power of frequency.